Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sigh of Relief. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me is my amazing co-host, Kaya. Kaya, what's going on?
Not too much going on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We have an amazing episode, with some really good stories to lead off. But before we get into any of our stories, how's your week going so far? Another hump day.
Yes, it is. Slow week though. I thought yesterday was Wednesday, so I'm like,
Hmm.
how is today not Friday? How is it only
Right, right,
Wednesday?
right, right.
Slow week,
I
but
see you.
it's going.
I see you ready for the weekend already.
I am. So I
Okay.
will have like a 2 week hiatus from the day to day of a 9 to 5. So I'm looking forward to this work week being over.
Right, right, right. Any exciting plans or still unpacking?
Still unpacking.
Okay.
I have a business trip to Ohio next week. I have
Okay.
never been to Ohio as an adult, so not sure what to expect, but
And don't expect
excited
much.
to explore. Yeah,
So it's yes,
that's what I was
yeah.
thinking too.
So it's funny because I was speaking to one of my coworkers from the Midwest today, and he was telling me it was projected to snow there um, this morning. So just make sure you dress
Hmm.
warm, wear your long johns as they call them, put your boots on, put the Vaseline all over your face, and just get ready for some cold weather.
This sweater will be in rotation, so this
Okay. Yeah.
sweater will be getting packed in my luggage.
All right. You got your earmuffs and your gloves and your scarf.
Gloves, all of it.
Right.
I'm ready,
Right.
ready to go.
Right. Yeah. Typically, when I travel to cold weather places, I don't pack too much cold weather gear. I just try to stay in a hotel and stay in a car and stay in a conference center, depending on, what I have to do. But I don't want to be outside at all. So
Hmm.
try to reduce my exposure as much as possible.
I get it, but this is probably going to be the last time I go there unless I have another
You
business
know,
trip. So I will
you
try to
know,
take a
don't
little
say that.
time to explore.
Don't say
Well,
that. Don't say that.
I sure hope it is.
Y-
Where's your
Yeah.
next business trip to?
I have to go to California in a few weeks, and my
Nice.
travel hasn't been approved yet, so I need to get
Oh,
on that.
well,
So
I hope it's not next week.
no, it's not next week. I think I have about 2 or 3 weeks. So
Okay,
I'm gonna
you got
travel
time.
to California and also travel to. I'm gonna try to go home for Mother's Day. So
Oh,
uh, I was talking to one of my cousins yesterday, and she mentioned that she found a restaurant to host Mother's Day dinner, and so I think we're gonna
oh,
try to
nice.
like gather all the family together and do dinner.
Your mom will love that. I'm sure. Are you going to surprise her?
Yeah.
Or are you going to tell her?
No, it's not gonna be a surprise.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a surprise. So
Side note:
I,
when is Mother's Day?
I think I think Mother's Day. I don't even know what Mother's Day is.
Okay.
I'm just going
Neither
for
one of
Mother's
us
Day.
know.
So,
We're bad
so yeah,
children.
right. So once because I never give gifts on Mother's Day. I'll call and say, Happy Mother's Day, to my mom and to the other mothers in my life. But yeah, I don't give gifts.
Is there a reason why?
I didn't think gifts were required. Do you give
You
gifts?
should surprise. Yes, you should surprise your mom this
Mhm.
year and buy her a gift. She'll be shocked.
She
You
sent me a picture.
should you should buy her a gift this year.
No, she sent me a picture of a. I don't know if it's still in my phone. 'Cause I think honestly, I think I deleted it. But she sent me a screenshot of a gift she wanted, and I deleted it. I looked at it one time and I deleted it.
What
So
was it?
it was like a designer handbag,
Okay, like Coach or like
like
Louis,
Louis,
Gucci.
Louis, and
Okay,
I'm
you
pretty
got
sure
some
those
money.
bags. No, those bags cost like thousands of dollars. So
You could get one that's almost 1,000.
I don't think
It's
they
your
come that
mom.
cheap.
She gave you her life. You can't
Uh,
get her a
How
thousand
about
dollar
how
purse.
about I buy her the straps from the Louis bag, and then she can attach the straps to one of the purses she already has.
So when I was saying buy her a gift, I wasn't talking about a designer bag. You could
Mhm,
buy her a bracelet, a couple $100 gold bracelet, or you could buy her a Coach handbag, which is a
mhm.
couple $100. She would like that. But you should buy your mom something. Not ever
Yeah,
buying her a gift is kind of insane, a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I got her something for Christmas a few years ago. Um,
Do you want a pat
so
on the back for that?
I got her something for Christmas. I'm not a big gift giver. Like I'm not. I got her for something for Christmas a few years ago. Um, and then Mother's Day. Oh, her birthday is coming up too. I think her birthday is next week. Yeah, her birthday's next
This is
week.
very
So
unfortunate.
her birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas. Christmas is in December. I feel like it all blurs together. So that's maybe I'll get one gift this year. So
So we're gonna hope that your future wife or love language is not receiving
gift
gifts
giving.
because
I hope
it's a
it's
wrap
not. I
for
hope it's
you.
yeah. I need a woman with a love language of like quality time, acts of
Oh, the free
kindness.
stuff.
No,
The
it's not
free
about
stuff.
free. It's about like how I love showing my emotion and my love. Like, I don't mind if my mom was here. I would take my mom on a date for Mother's Day. Take her to a nice
But she's
restaurant.
not.
Yeah, but she's not. So she gonna get these Louis straps. So she's gonna
A
get these
Louis
Louis
wallet.
straps.
A Louis wallet.
Mm, I don't know if she
Louis
carries a
phone
wallet.
case. We're gonna work on that. We'll
Yeah,
check in next time and see what gift
yeah,
you
yeah,
thought about getting her.
yeah. Let's check in next year and
No, let's
and
check
then
in
the
next
year after.
episode.
Let's check in next year and then the year after and see what see what she's blessed with. So, but she's gonna be blessed with the presence of our family, our loved ones. You know, all of the family's gonna get together. That's the ultimate gift. That's the gift that just keeps giving with just hugs and love. So
Uh-huh. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, definitely, definitely. What are you gonna do for your mother? What are you gonna do for your mother for Mother's Day?
I'm gonna buy her something. I
Okay, what are
pretty
you gonna
much
buy her?
I'm not quite sure yet. So I will say
Mhm.
that my mom is very easygoing. So I think that's the
Okay.
difference from my mom and my dad. My mom, I could buy her anything. I could buy her a pencil and
Mhm.
she'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I love this pencil." And that's how I am
Right.
too. Like I
Right.
think it's the thought that counts. It doesn't have to be anything huge. But my dad is the complete opposite. He's like, I want name brand, I want new shoes, I want some new jewelry. Oh, can you get me a new phone? Like
Your daddy's extra.
every year it's
Yeah.
but hey, we'll
What is he
buy.
gonna do with this
So
jewelry? Like, what is he gonna? Is he like, flashy guy? Does he just stay in the house? Like,
no,
what does he do?
no, he's not flashy. They don't go out, they don't party, they don't do
Exactly.
any of that. But he likes like a nice watch and
Hmm.
it's nothing like a Lil Wayne chain or Migos chain or nothing crazy
Yeah.
like
Matter of
that.
fact, get your daddy a Amigos chain. Get him a big chain with some like
I
diamonds
can't
on
afford
them.
that.
Well, the diamonds ain't got to be real, but just get something like Big Papa, chain on it, because he's gonna wear it around the house and talk smack to the rest of the family.
So that's
Well,
the
get him.
thing. If it's
I was
something
gonna say, get him a
shameful,
robe, like a flashy robe with his name like on the back of it. That'd be
that's
nice.
actually a that's not too expensive. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, something
I don't
custom
mind that.
made. Yeah, yeah, like his name. I think they call it embroiled or whatever. On the back. He's gonna probably wear that until the threads fall
Embroid
off.
I think it's embroid something.
Embroiled, yeah, something with an E. Yeah, yeah,
Look
definitely.
at you giving
But
suggestions, but you ain't thinking about buying your mama nothing.
you
Okay.
know what? I may get my mom some towels. Yeah, get her some
That's a good gift
towels.
too. That's a
Yeah,
good
but
gift
she got a
too.
house full of towels, so I
Get
don't know why
some
she got so many
some
towels.
they're not gonna be $20 towels though.
No, 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 no. Those,
Okay.
no, I'm not gonna. Those will scratch her skin up. So I, I made a mistake years ago and bought myself some $20 towels, and I was like,
Oh,
these these towels don't absorb no water. They just hard.
interesting. I
So,
buy $10 towels. Not even $10, $7 towels.
oh yeah, look, once you get the good ones, like you cannot go back. Once you get the good towels, you cannot go back.
Okay, I'm
Believe
expecting
me.
a gift from you too, then some towels
All
for
right, all right.
Christmas.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna think on it. Christmas 2026
Okay.
coming your way. Some
That works for
expensive
me.
towels, some
I
expensive
remember.
towels, and when you wipe your skin, it take off all the water, all the beads of water, soft. You wash it, it still maintains color. So yeah,
I'm
definitely.
excited to see what this looks like in 2026. So thank you in
All
advance.
right, all right. One face towel coming your way. Yeah. So, so Kaya, one of TV's most famous homes was recently taken off the market. The iconic San Francisco Full House home, which was made famous by the Tanner family and from the 1990s hit sitcom Full House, was recently sold for $6 million. Do you remember that show? And do you remember the home that they shot that TV show in?
I don't really remember the home, but this is the Full House is the show that had the Olsen twins, right?
Correct. Olsen
Okay, yes.
twins. I think Bob Saget, rest in peace. He died, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yep.
Yes.
That's the Full House show. I still watch that show on reruns every time I see it on television.
Really?
Yes,
I
I
don't think
love
that
that
was my
show.
favorite show, but I do remember it.
Yeah, yeah. So, if out of all the TV shows you watch growing up or you watch right now, like which shows home would you love to buy? I'm not saying it has to be the biggest mansion on the side of a cliff, but like average
Hmm.
normal family house apartment, which show, TV home would you want to live in or want to own?
So it's not average, but easily for me, it would probably be the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. That's the
Oh,
house that I would want to live in.
that's a mansion. I'm pretty sure that home is probably
Yeah.
worth at least 20 or $30 million right now, considering it's
Yeah, it
California.
could be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I think it was already they shot it in the 90s and the area was already like a wealthy area. I
Hmm.
think Bel Air is wealthy. So I can only imagine how
Yes.
much it cost or it's worth today.
Yeah, I can't afford it, but that would be my my pick. I'm trying to think of another show. I can't really think of anything off the
Mm,
top of my head, but I think I would definitely lean towards that house because I would want to live in a mansion. So
right. I mean, yeah, Fresh Prince, that mansion. Uh, I would say the apartment from Martin, but I think they lived in Detroit, and I don't want to live in Detroit. And that apartment was small. That apartment
from
was small.
Detroit, I'm hurt.
Sh- uh,
I'm hurt.
you ain't in
There's nice
Detroit.
places.
Yeah, but they were in an apartment. Their apartment
There's
looked
nice
like the
places.
projects.
Then why
Imagine,
you want to live
imagine.
there?
I mean, because it's iconic.
Okay.
So
Okay.
imagine
Not
Shanae
because of
knocking
like
on
the
your door.
furniture.
Oh no, 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 no.
Okay.
But imagine Shanae knocking on your door or bruh man coming through your window. Like, no
I
way.
couldn't even imagine that.
No way. I mean, imagine like you just going to the restroom in the middle of the night and you see bruh man putting his legs through the window or the fire escape, just saying, hey man, I'm just coming down here to get some bread, you know. But
But that's a good
yeah,
point of how life used to be before we had cell phones. Because think about the last time when you've had a friend just come over your house and like knock on your door unexpectedly. That
right,
hasn't
right.
happened to me since I've been in college.
Exactly. Yeah. When everybody lives in the same dormitory, same building next door, and they can easily get access to your building, they can just come in and knock on the door. But like you said, that doesn't happen anymore. Everybody texts or call,
Weeks in advance.
before they come. What other house can I think of? Full houses to me is probably number one. Um, what other iconic homes? Um, hmm,
Mm, I
trying to
think that
figure out.
sister sister they had a nice home too. I don't know if you
Yeah,
watched that show, Tia and Tamara Mowry.
yeah, I remember it, but I don't remember the home. I also remember the home from what's the name of the Steve Urkel show? Family Matters.
Yes,
I think they shot that in
that was a nice
Chicago.
house.
Yeah, I think they
Hmm.
shot that home and film that show in Chicago. So yeah, Full House is probably the most iconic one because right in the preview of them leading up to the show, they would show the aerial views of the
Hmm.
home, the San Francisco, hilly streets and the windy roads. And, it's iconic. So, it's sold. So I can't live there anymore and I can't afford it. So I'm
6 million
lucky.
seems low, doesn't
It
it?
does. It does. So I think the home actually sold for, if I'm not mistaken, $500,000 less than the asking
Oh,
price. So
okay.
you're right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll probably exchange hands before, the next buyer decides to sell
Hmm.
it or try to make a museum out of it. Try to squeeze every dollar they can
Right.
out of the
Absolutely.
property. But yeah, Full House, like you said, Sister Sister, Fresh Prince. Those are all iconic homes and apartments that TV shows are were shot in. I can't really think of anything from modern times, from like today, that people watch, that has like amazing homes or an apartment that people see as iconic.
Everything's really reality TVs these days.
Right.
I would say Blackish. I don't know if you've
Okay.
watched that show. They have a
Mhm.
nice house.
Okay.
I can't even really think of too many like sitcom shows that I watch in
Mhm.
like the last 5 years.
Right.
I'm sure we're forgetting something, but
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we are. There's something out there that I'm gonna think of after the show. Yeah. So check this out. So a North Texas based company has reportedly brought back the dire wolf, a breed of wolf that was extinct for over 13,000 years. The
oh
company is
wow.
claiming the same approach can be used to resurrect other extinct species for which
Oh.
ancient DNA is available. What are your thoughts on that? Knowing that we can bring back a wolf that's been extinct for over 13,000 years.
I think it's probably important for where we're going in the future,
Hmm.
because we know how important it is, that every human, every animal, they have a very important role in society, like
Hmm.
our bumblebees and honeybees, and they're always talking about save the bees, save the turtles. So I think it's important in the aspect of if something goes extinct that we really need to keep the world moving,
Hmm.
then we could essentially bring it back to life. But in that same breath, also scary, because what are they going to be doing? Are they going to
Right.
be trying to bring you back to life when you pass over at 110 years old?
Well, they may not wait. They may just bring me back to life while I still have DNA samples, and so I can have a infant me, at my
Wow.
disposal to raise, because people are going to try that next, cloning themselves and using their DNA to edit their own genes in their natural body.
So I guess how would that work though? Because and I know you don't, I guess this is a hypothetical question, but
Mhm.
so you have this wolf, they use the DNA. Okay, so
Mhm.
they don't
A, a,
have like the
a deceased
actual
wolf, yeah.
body of.
They have the skull. They had the skull, and they were able to get DNA or genetic material from the skull. I guess it was probably trapped in a permafrost or frozen
Mhm.
somewhere, extremely far north that are still cold. And they took that and they edited the genes from a living wolf that's close in genetic
Okay.
makeup to
Mhm.
basically bring back the life of something that's been extinct for 13,000 years.
So next thing I'm gonna be trying to do this with dinosaurs. And the
Exactly.
dinosaurs are gonna be lifting us up in the air
Right. Killing us. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Right.
So I guess it just, I mean, obviously this needs to be done very, very responsibly, right?
But that's not,
But I feel like
people not gonna be
that's what I was
responsible.
gonna say.
Right.
Humans get a hold of stuff, and I feel like especially when you have people with money get a hold of stuff, they're gonna do whatever they want because they have
Exactly.
money and they can do that. I don't think that this is gonna be a leisure activity for somebody in my pay grade, but I
Right.
don't think
Right.
I'll be cloning anything anytime soon. Maybe
Right.
some chicken from my freezer, but
Right. Yeah. To
it
reduce the
definitely won't.
price of eggs. You're right.
Right, it
Let's
won't be
bring back some
anything
chickens.
living.
Right. So yeah,
Yes.
so when I first heard the story and read the comments with it, everybody went back to Jurassic Park, like, oh, they're gonna be bringing
We all
dinosaurs
thought of
next.
that.
Yeah, right, right. And so the guy who I guess is the owner or the head, scientist for the company that did this, he mentioned bringing back woolly mammoths. And I'm not sure if you know what woolly mammoths are. They're basically the prehistoric. I don't even think they're prehistoric, but the hairy elephants with the large
Yeah.
tusk. And his team is currently working on bringing that back. They've brought back woolly mice, so basically small mice with that same hair, that
Oh,
blondish
okay.
brown hair. And I've seen some pictures online. A lot of people are claiming that the mice were cute. I don't think mice are cute,
Me
but
neither.
yeah, when you see one running around your house or running around your foot, you're not gonna think it's cute. But
Right.
I mean, we don't know what's next because all it takes is one
Hmm.
mistake and wild animals
Yeah.
to be out there, picking off people's dogs and cats, and then
Hmm.
you next thing you're gonna know, you're gonna see the media trying to keep it silent because they don't want you to know that
Hmm.
there's a saber-toothed tiger in your backyard.
Yes, agreed. So where do they have this wolf? Is it like a zoo? Well, not a zoo, but somewhere where people can see it.
Yeah, I don't think it's available. I didn't read anywhere where it said it's available for public viewing, but the company is based
Okay.
out of North Texas, so I'm assuming it's in a Dallas, Fort Worth area. Um,
Wow.
but apparently, this wolf, they have like three pups today, two or three pups today. But when they reach maturity, they're going to be larger than regular, gray wolves.
Hmm.
So
And so,
yeah, so
what would they do with the woolly mammoth? Because I wouldn't like. Where does that go?
probably some because they need to walk around and eat grass and touch grass. So you know,
Okay. It kind of reminds me of like SeaWorld. You know how everybody is like, we need to ban SeaWorld. I don't know if you've ever been to SeaWorld as a kid.
I heard of it, but
Um,
I don't think I've ever been. I've seen like the commercials with like the killer whale and the dolphins and people protesting.
yes. Hmm.
I've seen the movie Free Willy. I don't know if you've seen that movie Free Willy.
I'm pretty sure I saw it years ago, but
Yeah,
I don't think recently. But
yeah.
it kind of reminds me of that because it's like they're going to be cloning all of these animals to obviously keep them away because I don't foresee them like reintegrating them into back into society
You
maybe
cannot do that.
hundreds of years from now.
Right.
um but essentially it's like why bring back these animals to have them
Mhm.
in captation, is that the right word?
Yeah,
In
captivity.
captation, yes.
Yeah. So
but
right. So
but yeah, I feel like people would definitely protest against that.
yeah, I mean, people are gonna protest, but you can protest all you want. If it's done in quiet and
Yeah,
silence, you're not gonna know about it. Like you're not
yeah,
gonna
that's
know.
true.
I mean, the only reason we know about these wolves because they press releases, the media, they opened it up for us to know about it. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure they've been doing this for years. This is the first time it's
Probably.
been
Yeah.
successful.
Hmm.
You just don't wake up one day and on your first attempt, you bring back some wolves that are 13,000 years old. Like you have to fail dozens of times to do this. So,
Yeah.
so don't be surprised if you're walking down the street and you see somebody that looks like you, and
I see Lil Kaya.
they don't know who you are.
I may see a Lil Kaya.
Right.
I love it.
Right. And then we got to get you something for Mother's Day. We got to find you some
See?
Louis straps. Get you some Louis
L-
straps.
No, Lil Kaya gonna buy me a real gift, a
All right,
good
little
gift.
Kaya. All right, little Kaya. Kaya. So, we talked about this a few days ago. Rapper Slim Thug, his home in Houston, Texas was recently burglarized Monday, with thieves reportedly taking the rapper's jewelry, cash, and other valuables. The burglary happened while Slim Thug was away, I guess, watching the national championship between Houston versus Florida, which was in San
Okay.
Antonio.
Hmm.
And cops and first responders on the scene spotted that the door had shown signs of forced entry, and that's
Okay.
when the rapper was contacted. So no arrest has been made at the time. But my question to you is, what type of criminal robs a boss?
He ain't got no ring camera. That's my first question.
When I
Where
first
the
read this,
ring camera
I
at?
said, why is he in the apartment? That was my first question.
Maybe it's a
Why is he?
nice luxury apartment.
Well, maybe he's living in that Martin apartment that we talked about earlier. Maybe he's living in the Houston
Or
equivalent.
he's living in Houston.
Right. He living in the
Houston is
Houston
Houston.
equivalent. He living in the Houston equivalent of a Martin apartment. And so, Shanae probably, or Brubman probably came in through the fire escape and robbed him,
Could have been if he
kicked
would
the
have had
door
that
out and
ring
left.
camera.
Yeah.
The ring camera
So
should have been telling on whoever was breaking in. He should have known before anybody had to call him.
exactly,
But
exactly. And so this is a string of burglaries. I don't know if you've been following in 2024 and 2025. A lot of well-known athletes, entertainers have been getting their homes and apartments burglarized by, I think it's called some South American gang, Trende Aguave or something like that.
I ain't
Uh,
heard it is.
yeah. So Joe Burrow, the quarterback from um, the Cincinnati Bengals, um, a few NFL, NBA players, and MLB players, and now Slim Thug uh, have been robbed in the last 12 months. And so with the Joe Burrow case, they actually found the guys that robbed his house because they found his jewelry and his college, memorabilia on the internet. And when you get stuff like that, it's custom. It has your name on it. It has, your
Right.
number on it. So the average gang member doesn't have that. So
Right. Yeah. Easily traceable. But I know Slim Thug to be very prominent on, I'm not going to say prominent on social media,
mhm,
but he's definitely always putting his opinion out there.
mhm.
I think that we've actually seen him out when we've gone out together.
Yeah.
So he's,
Yeah.
well known around the city. He's kind of always out and about.
Mhm.
I wouldn't be shocked if at some point, he made a video in his apartment,
Mhm.
and people pay attention to like the smallest details.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody looked at this door back here and was like,
Right.
"Where is that door from? I
Right.
want to know where she lives." So I think at any point he could have slipped up and somebody figured out where he lived, followed him
Mhm.
home, tailgated him, whatever, and decided I'm gonna rob him for whatever it is he has. He may live in an
Right.
apartment, but he got something that I could
Right.
sell or make some money off of. So
Yeah, definitely.
not
And
shocked by
I
it.
think this is the second Houston rapper to get robbed. I think Bun B
Oh,
was
really?
his home was burglarized over a year or two ago. I think his wife was there,
Oh,
and
wow.
they had cameras in their house, but I think the
Yeah.
criminals were like they had guns. Like, ain't no camera gonna stop
Right.
somebody with a firearm.
But at least
Um,
you get a face or an arm or a
right.
tattoo or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why you see a lot of celebrities and just people who are known or just people who have the resources. They live in gated communities. They don't want to deal with people having access to touching their front door.
But
You
I
know.
think that's a problem with apartments too, because I mean, you and I, we have concierge. We know
Mhm.
that nobody is
Mhm.
supposed to be able to get up to this floor. But
Right.
I was shocked when I moved in. Our concierge told me, "Oh, we won't call you for food deliveries, but if a friend comes over, we'll call for that." I was utterly shocked because I'm
That's
like, you need to
backwards.
be calling more for the delivery driver
Right. Right.
than you do my friends.
Right.
So I think that that's a problem within Texas, kind of as a whole.
Mhm.
They need to make sure that policies are being followed and security measures are heightened because even in an apartment, nobody should be able to access your door who isn't supposed to.
Right. Right. And I'm assuming he's in a nice apartment, but stuff like that will cause like other residents to move out and break their
Oh
lease,
yeah.
like
Oh, I
literally
would.
break their lease,
I would.
because if they don't let the residents out of their lease if they request, people are going to start breaking up lawsuits, and
Hmm.
they're going to just
Yeah.
stop paying rent because, as a woman, you don't want to feel unsafe.
Oh no,
You
no,
know,
no, no. Yeah.
yeah,
Me, me myself, when I order DoorDash or Uber, I don't even put my apartment number in that app. I go down
mhm,
and I get every delivery. Like I
mhm,
nobody is allowed to know where I live.
right,
So
right,
1000% as a woman, we're extra cautious about stuff like that.
mhm,
But men too. I mean, they have to be worried as well. So
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, I don't. Yeah, that's why I've seen some people with Uber and DoorDash apps. They use like fake names.
yep, that
Um,
too.
but I don't think
Hmm.
I'm famous, but I'm not famous enough to use a fake name. So yeah,
Well, you're
give
also a
me.
guy, so
Yeah. I
probably
mean,
not
guys could
as
be.
worried.
I could be a victim too. So
Yeah, of course, of course. But
yeah.
you're probably not as worried about Tom from, down the street
If
coming up
Tom is
and
bigger than me,
delivering
yeah,
your
I'm
food.
worried. If Tom is big, if Tom like 6'6", 260, I'm worried. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen big dudes get close to me, and I'm like, hey man, look, get off some space. I was in a grocery store a few months ago, and it was late at night. I always go to the grocery store late or early in the morning when nobody's in there. And this big dude started asking me questions. I just started like moving away. Like, why are you asking me about my shirt? Like, dude, it's a
Mm.
grocery store, bro. Like, get away from me.
So imagine how we feel as women.
Right.
Woo.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 10 times worse. And then you got to deal with guys constantly flirting with you everywhere you go. So
Also asking about your shirt, but it's
yeah. Oh yeah. What color is that? That's a real nice color.
uh-huh.
Can I feel it? Can I
Right.
touch it?
Can
And
I
next thing you
tug
know,
on it?
yeah. Next thing you know, they rubbing your arm. But
Doing something they ain't got no
yeah,
business doing. Yes, accurate.
exactly, exactly. So, I know we both heard about this story over the past few weeks. A New York woman named, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Onijah Robinson, is back in the United States after uh, making rounds on social media for traveling to Karachi, Pakistan in 2024 to marry a Pakistani national named Ahmed. The two began dating online after he arrived. Oh, after she arrived in the country, the two began dating online, but after she arrived in the country, she noticed that she wasn't being welcomed by his family, and also after overstaying her welcome of 30 days, her visa expired. And that's what, kind of prompted this New York woman to, hold a press conference and basically demand large sums of money in order to rebuild Pakistan. And she has been named the Queen of Pakistan by her followers on social media. And she's back in the United States, and her quote boyfriend
Shout
is
out to
giving
that.
interviews. Like, what are your thoughts on this story? Because I think we first talked about this before we even started the show because we saw it on the internet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She is a hoot for one. She literally took over social media randomly,
Mhm.
randomly, and was the only thing that you saw like on your timeline for like a whole week, maybe a week and a half. Then she disappeared.
Right.
So she's our 2025 overnight sensation. I think she has an amazing personality. I wish that I
Mhm.
could, fly across the country, give a press conference, and say that I want
Across the
$200,000
world.
or more.
Across the world. She
Yes.
went to Pakistan.
Yeah. What I say? Across the country? My bad.
Across the country. But you
Uh,
good. Go ahead, go
um, but yeah, literally an overnight sensation. Just a person who you can tell just has a good personality, is pretty likable.
ahead.
Obviously, we don't want to shy away from the fact that there could possibly be some mental health there as well. So I hope
Yeah,
that
that's the
she's
first thing
getting,
I thought when I saw this woman.
yeah,
I'm like, is she
I
okay?
hope that she's, yes, getting the help that she needs. But glad that she's back in America, glad that she's safe. So, there was like a little gap where she was in
Mhm,
Pakistan and then supposedly got to Dubai
mhm.
by layover and skipped coming back to New York. But then she just completely went off the grid. Nobody knew what happened, and she ended up back in New York. So, very interesting story.
Yeah, definitely. And I first learned about her, I think, over a month ago, probably over 2 months ago.
Hmm.
And she was having this huge press conference. And the funny thing about the press conference is that it was, to me, it was like clear that she didn't have all the cars in the deck. But the people interviewing her were like interviewing her like she was serious, like
Like
asking
was
her
serious.
questions. Yeah, and
That
I'm
was
like,
weird.
are they serious? But I didn't know the full story until preparing for this tonight's episode, and I saw that she was dating someone. And so when I saw that she was dating someone, it made me immediately think of that TV show where people from one country fly to another country, and I don't know if it's A&E or
90-Day
Bravo.
Fiance.
Yeah, I don't know what network it's on, but
TLC, I think.
TLC. Yeah, but people are literally flying across the world dating people and getting married to
Hmm.
people. But his family was like, no way, no how.
Absolutely not. Yes.
Yeah, but she went over there. And she definitely went over there, and she has a huge personality. And I
She
think the
does.
guy, yeah, and I think the guy was interviewed recently, and he said he loves her. So, um,
The boyfriend?
yeah,
Oh
and
wow.
I didn't realize he was like 18 years old, 18 or 19 years
Oh.
old. So,
She has to, I would assume that she's at least in her 30s.
yeah, I think she's in her 30. I
Like
think she's either
late
30 or in her
30s.
early. Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. What's the furthest you've ever been for a date?
Travel
You
for
don't have to.
love.
You
I
don't
mean,
have to. You don't have to cap. You don't have to cap. 'Cause you
no,
about
I'm
to
not
start
gonna
it.
cap. I mean, I was dating somebody overseas and
Okay.
he paid for me to, come and visit him.
Okay.
So
He
I've
flew.
been
He flew
far.
you out. He
He
flew you
did.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Was he in
But
Pakistan? Was he in Karachi, Pakistan?
he was not in Pakistan. I've never been to
Oh, okay.
Pakistan. But I mean, for an actual date, like let's meet up for dinner. I
Hmm.
mean, down the street,
Okay.
maybe
Cool.
5, 10 miles,
Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think the furthest
so
I've
not too
traveled
far.
was right. I think the furthest I traveled for an actual date was probably like an hour. No, let me take that back.
Okay.
Probably like an hour and a half. Uh, that's
Okay.
kind of far.
Yeah, I
It
was
was.
gonna say, where you
It,
go?
I forgot. I think this was when I was living in I think I was living in Georgia. But this is
Okay.
like, yeah, I wouldn't do that in 2025. Like, I'm not driving
Um,
that far.
I think it depends because I think we both live in big cities, very big
Mhm.
cities. So if I'm, driving outside of the city limits, I mean, okay. Yeah, no, you're right. I ain't driving no hour and a half. Let's be realistic
Yeah,
now.
that's too
Because we
far.
should be meeting in the middle anyway. So
Right, right, right. Yeah, now like that's too far.
see,
You know
I
how
was
people
finna
want.
cap.
Yeah, people want it on demand now. Like they look at the. It's gonna take 20 minutes. Look at Waze. You look at Google Maps, Apple Maps. You like, oh no, if it's 20 minutes away, if it's 30 minutes away, like, you know what, that's 10 minutes too far. I can do 20, 30 minutes, but more than that, if I got to fill my gas tank up just to go see you,
Are we
that's a little bit
blocking
too
our
far.
blessings though?
I
I
said the same thing about you. We need to get you on a plane to
don't know.
Pakistan so you can be the new queen of
Well,
Pakistan. Get you a nice Ahmed, nice little young Ahmed, and
no.
you know, so we can be saying Happy Mother's Day next year.
So Pakistan's a little too far for me. I don't do long
Hmm.
distance
Okay.
any longer. And I definitely don't do an 18-year-old. But yeah, maybe we can talk about that
Hmm.
another day.
Why are you blocking your blessings though
Blocking my blessings with an 18-year-old or in Pakistan.
with an 18-year-old?
I don't think I would really date under 30, to be quite honest.
Okay. Okay.
Men, y'all age a little bit differently.
You
So
blocking them 18-year-old blessings, you blocking them 29-year-old blessings, you just blocking
surely
all the blessings.
am.
That's like a decade of blessings being blocked. Just
If it's meant for me, then it'll find its way past 29.
all right. Okay. All right. So hopefully Ahmed will be he'll be 29 in about 10 years. So
A decade. I got a decade
yeah,
to
he can he,
go.
can- he
Okay.
can contact you, and we can put you on that, who said, History Channel,
TLC.
Discovery, TLC, Finding Love Abroad. So,
Okay.
but
I'll
that
take
was a
it.
that was a pretty interesting story. Miss
Yes, we're happy
Robinson.
she's back.
Yeah, so she's probably gonna get a TV show now. So
I hope so. I'll watch it. She's fun.
yeah, yeah. So another story. So we recently discovered why Kenya Moore is no longer part of the Real Housewives of Atlanta cast. It's come to light that while the show was in production, Kenya Moore shared explicit photos of a cast member named Brittany Eady without her consent, which caused Bravo, the production or company, to suspend Moore's time on the show indefinitely. So Moore was reportedly showing photos of Edie because Edie threatened her with a weapon. So how big is this the story? I noticed, I heard about it briefly, I think yesterday, and then you actually brought it up to me, I think what last night or
Hmm.
this morning.
Yes. So I know you're not a Real Housewives stan,
I'm
but
familiar with it, but like I think the show's been on for like 10 years, so like I don't
yeah,
watch
at
it
least a
actively,
decade.
but I'm familiar with it.
I think I've watched every episode, every season of Real
Mhm.
Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh wow,
Um, yes, diehard fan. Just like you watch basketball every Sunday,
you watching Real
I watch Real
Housewives?
Housewives.
Okay, so you know all
This
the
is my
tea.
basketball. Yes.
Oh wow.
Uh, I'm just kidding, but
No, it is it's your Super Bowl. It's your basketball.
a little bit,
It's your March Madness.
definitely.
Yeah.
So Kenya she's held an interesting position on the show for a
Mhm,
while.
mhm.
Pretty much since she has come on the show, she has been portrayed as the villain. Um, so she recently, well, not recently, her daughter's maybe 4 or 5. So she
Oh,
became a mother. She softened up a little bit. She
okay,
got into motherhood and she changed that villain persona a
okay.
little bit, a little bit. So this new season started. It is very fresh. I think we're only on the third episode. And on the last episode, Britt Edie, like you explained, she got very upset about something very small and stated that she had all sorts of weapons, not just one weapon, but a few weapons.
Mhm,
And it was portrayed that they would be used against Kenya.
mhm.
So then on that next episode that came on this week, that's when Kenya showed those explicit photos.
Okay.
Um, so I will start by saying they were both wrong. I I think that they were both wrong, but I think that two things can also be right at once. Although they were both wrong, I think that Kenya completely just she lost it. She wanted to, get her get back, and she went a little too hard with showing those explicit photos. And I just think that that was going way, way, way overboard. I don't think at any point is it ever acceptable to show someone else's private parts. And obviously, I don't know what these pictures were. I don't know if they were private parts. I don't know, what that explicit photo was.
Mhm.
Um, but on a public platform like that, I don't think that it's ever acceptable. And I just hate that she also tarnished her own business by doing that.
Mhm.
So she showed these explicit photos at her grand opening for her salon, which has been in the works for years. So I think that people will associate her poor decision
Mhm.
with the grand opening of her salon. So just all in all, unfortunately, seeing women fight and go in the gutter is very unfortunate.
Yeah, and honestly, we can probably find some thirsty guys wanting to go to the salon now to get their hair done because they know some photos up there. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm pretty sure they're going to bring Kenya back. I think Kenya's, like you said, has been a staple on
Yeah.
that show for over a decade. So she's definitely going to be back. And it could be like all like promotion for this current season. I didn't know that she had recently became a mom. I think she became famous for dating a NFL football player, if I'm
No,
not mistaken.
she
Kenya
was
Moore.
no.
Oh.
She became famous because she was the second Black Miss USA.
Okay. So the dating the athlete came afterwards. Okay.
I don't even recall her dating an athlete.
I think she dated
I'm sorry.
Cordell Stewart. I don't know,
That
allegedly.
was that was one of the other cast members. You close though. We
Oh
gon'
yeah,
we
okay.
gonna watch we gonna watch
I
some
need to catch up on
episodes.
my episodes. Yeah. I need oh, that was
Wrong
Portia.
person. Yes, Portia.
Look. See, like I said, I know a little
You
bit.
close. Yeah,
I know a little. I know a
you're a
little
little
bit.
off. But
Yeah,
what do
but
you? So, what's your opinion about? Okay, somebody threatens you, right?
mhm.
I say that I have a weapon and I'm, directing that anger towards you. And then you go find some dirt on me, you find a receipt, and then you're showing a picture of me, in a vulnerable moment at your corporate job.
Yeah. I would never do the photo thing. If you threaten me, I'm gonna just laugh at you. Um, and just like play it off like you ain't gonna do nothing. You just talking. But that's about it. I'm not about to go find some explicit pictures and put them on the internet because you go to jail for that. Like you can get sued for
Yes.
that. So I think they call it,
Absolutely.
uh,
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
gonna say the word on here, but it's called revenge something. So you
Yeah.
can go to jail for it, and I don't need to be in jail. Yeah, like we talked about the big dude from the grocery store that's asking me about my shirt. I don't need to be in jail with people like that. So,
Do you think that they both should have been kicked off the show?
no, because like I said, it may be for ratings. If they've been, from what I understand, I think the Real Housewives Atlanta version is the highest rated version they
It
have.
is. Well, it
And-
was. It may not be now, but for a long time, it was the most watched
yeah,
show on Bravo. Period.
yeah. So they're not going to get rid of staples like that unless the
Hmm.
ratings are dipping. They feel like they're paying certain people too much money, and they want to like secretly backdoor them out of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see them kicking her off. If anything, they're gonna bring her back on a reunion. Ratings are gonna be sky high, and you know,
No, I mean, I'm sorry. Do you think that the one who threatened with the weapon should, because she gets to say, like, she's going to be on the future episodes, do you think that she should have also been kicked off? Should they
I
both
mean,
have gotten the boot?
it's kind of touchy because like once you boot her, you're basically booting two people,
Hmm.
and the producers don't want to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the producers don't want to do that because they going it's like getting rid of your celebrities off your TV show. If you have like you
Hmm.
mentioned Fresh Prince earlier, if you get rid of Uncle Phil and Will Smith, like nobody wants to watch Hillary for 30 minutes.
Right. Right.
So, but we'll see. What other so they got Atlanta, what other cities do they have?
Beverly Hills, which that is my newfound favorite too. They
Hmm.
had Dubai, Salt Lake City,
Okay.
Miami,
Hmm.
Orange County,
Hmm. Everywhere.
Potomac. Yes.
Everywhere. Did they have
Um,
Texas before or Houston?
they used to have Dallas.
Okay.
Um, I don't think they've ever had Chicago. They never had Houston.
Mhm.
Yeah, they had San Antonio, but I think it was a different network that had San
Yeah,
Antonio.
San Antonio is boring. Nobody wants to see no
Oh,
San Antonio. Yeah. Like,
well,
I
tell us how
mean,
you really feel about San Antonio.
do you want to see a hour TV show about some women from San Antonio gossiping and fighting and talking about their lives?
I don't think it's necessarily the area that makes the show because think
It's the
about it. Nobody knew. I never knew what Potomac was. Like, if you told
DC
me,
area.
like, yes, but if you told me Potomac 10 years ago, I'd be like, I couldn't guess where that was on,
Hmm.
what state that was in. So I think it's really the group, the
Yeah,
people that make it interesting, not the area.
yeah. I'm pretty
But
sure they're gonna roll out some other cities like Charlotte. Um, it'd be nice if they probably had like Fort Worth or Houston. All these
I'd
even
love to
dating
see
shows.
Houston.
Yeah, even dating shows do this where they'll have like Married at First
Hmm.
Sight Houston, Married at First Sight
Yeah.
New Orleans, and every
Hmm.
city has a distinct culture, um,
Yes.
you know, distinct dating culture, and you see how muddy the dating scene is in every city. So
Hmm.
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Real Housewives of New York. How about
oh yeah,
them?
that's a big one because New York City is a big city.
Mhm.
Cool. What other shows are similar? And when does Real Housewives of Atlanta come on?
I believe it comes on Sundays. I can't say that
Okay.
I watch it when it comes out. I usually watch it a couple days later.
Mhm.
But I would say comparable shows are Married to Medicine. That's a great show. I love that show
Okay.
too.
Listen, you know all the
Um,
shows.
I know reality TV.
Right.
Really, that's all I know. Real Housewives, Married to
Right.
Medicine. Obviously, there's like all those love and hip hop shows. I do not watch
Yeah, this is
those. I'm good.
yeah. And
I
don't
like
forget
recipes.
the NBA playoffs start I think next week. So you can give us an update on that too.
I won't know. I won't know until you tell me next week, and
Right.
I'll say, is it football, basketball, or baseball,
Right. Right.
or
The
soccer?
NBA playoffs. So yeah, I don't know. Well, baseball season started I think like 2 weeks ago. So you know baseball is huge. So
Interesting. I haven't heard anything about the Astros yet, so
yeah,
maybe they haven't played.
they they probably away. The moment they play
Okay.
in the city, you're gonna see everybody walking around with the orange and blue and
Yeah.
white gear, and people show up for the Astros.
Yeah.
The people show up.
Yay.
So,
So excited
yeah,
to hear about it.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's all we have today. So thank you guys for joining us for another episode. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. We appreciate you watching, and thanks for joining. Thank you.
Thank you.